Good morning, everybody. I'm going to take you guys with me on a walk today to Cox Arboretum. Before we get there, I do have a couple stops to make, which I won't bore you with those. I have to return some library books, get an oil change, get some gas, and then I'm going to go on a walk. Then I have to come back, pick up some groceries, and come home and cook. I do not like cooking, but I also don't like spending money on fast food, so I do cook once a week. Sometimes I have to do it over 2 days. I just get my cooking done for the week, and I eat leftovers the rest of it. I'm proud of my car. It started today. I have a 2009 Camry. 270,000 miles on this car. I bought it used. I am currently saving for a new car, but I don't like debt, and I'm doing my best to save cash. This car, I hope, will last me until I do get the money together for a car. I really don't want to do a car loan if I don't have to. But yeah, I have not driven this car since last week on Wednesday. I was really nervous. It's been sitting for almost a week in these sub-zero temperatures. I did start it on Monday. I just started it to make sure it would run, that it would turn on. I do have a relatively new battery. It's 1 or 2 years old. I can't remember. I do overpay for my batteries just because I do park outside. Yes, we have a garage, but it's filled with all of our sports equipment. So it's not really, can't really get my car in it. I used to could, I can't anymore. So I park outside. I'm proud of my car. I'm going to show you the temperature that we will be going walking at today. So 9 degrees outside right now. It actually feels really warm. You can see I really do have almost 270,000 miles. Tire pressure lights on, but that's because it's cold. And the check engine lights on, but I already know that's the catalytic converter. I have an awesome mechanic, and they have already told me that's what it was. So I'll be taking that in later this year to get it fixed. I'm sitting here in my car waiting for the oil change. I turned it off because it's going to be a while for the wait. I kind of want to record what's going on next to me, but I also don't want to be rude. Something I did not think about in this weather. Well, I know my trunk would freeze shut, and I know car doors freeze shut. I didn't think about the hood of the car. Well, I was wondering why when I got here, they had me pop my hood while I was outside. Normally they wait till you get in and have you pop your hood. Well, the car next to me right now, he is struggling to get his hood open. The Valvoline guy is out there with like some kind of pick device trying to get the ice picked off. It's not funny. It's not funny. The guy's car started and he's here and he's safe, but it's just like, it's crazy. You're not used to this kind of weather, the stuff that comes on. I mean, we're used to the cold. I'm used to my car doors freezing. I'm not used to this much snow. It was actually on the news. I think 1978 was the last time we got this much snow in one day. So I obviously don't remember that. Not that old. Getting there. I love getting older. But yeah. And then the driver of that car came out and he was like kind of like leaning really hard on the hood trying to get it to pop itself open. But try not to invade people's privacy. In fact, yeah, I don't have anyone's license plate in this either. So waiting on this oil change. I just want to get to Cox. I was going to take a picture of Cox while I was driving by it, but there was a police officer like next to me and I don't want a ticket. We're not allowed to have our phones out while we're driving here in Ohio. All right, guys, we are here. Hopefully enough of this will come into the video. I do have new tires on my car. I just got them within the last year. And I just drive slowly so I don't have to worry about sliding. The MetroParks were closed on Sunday. So it snowed Saturday night into Sunday. They were closed on Sunday and they were closed on Monday and had a delayed opening on Tuesday. I'm not sure how many of the trails are going to be clear. Hopefully they at least did the paved trail. Cox Arboretum, I want to do, in a minute I'll tell you how far it is from the UD Arena. I know March Madness is coming up. Visitors to the area may want something to do if you're going to come up here and stay overnight. It is empty. I can't believe there's nobody out. This is a beautiful day. It's warmed up to 16 degrees. If you're curious, I spent like $232 on that oil change, but I also got engine filters. Not engine filters, I got an engine filter, cabin filter, wiper blades. So, all right, we are going to park and go see how much of this we can actually walk. The bathrooms here are super clean, I feel like, for being a MetroPark. So if you are looking to reserve for your wedding, you don't have to worry about any grossness for your guest. Okay, let me put my gloves on. I have my tripod with me. I'm excited. It'll help keep my hands warm so I can do more recording dog pee. This is one of the few MetroParks where you are not allowed to fish. This is the outside of the banquet hall where you can reserve for weddings, graduation parties. I wanted to take video inside, but I'm so nervous, and like, there are employees on staff here, so that's nice. I asked her if any trails were off limits, and she said no. It's just they have not plowed, and so I will probably look for the shortest trail I can take. I might just stay here on the paved trail, which is still pretty nice. I'll have to come back out here and do this again in the spring and summer when you can actually see all the beautiful flowers and trees. I wonder what she would do if I walked on this ice. Now this ice I would trust. It is completely covered. This is water all the way up to like where the trees are. Nice little pond. More people were pulling up after I came out of the bathroom and I went back to get my sunglasses. This sun is really bright, reflecting off the snow. But yeah, more people are coming. Can't believe there aren't more people out. Like 14 degrees, that number sounds cold. It's really not that bad if you're dressed for it. And I do have on I have on fleece-lined leggings. I have on a long sleeve shirt and then a hoodie on top of that, and I have on 2 pairs of socks, and I wore my ski suit. In some spots the snow is up to the knees and my boots only come up to my calves. So in case I step in any snow or fall, I just didn't want to have to be wet and cold. A trick if you live in a city where you normally don't get snow, so of course you wouldn't have any boots on you or anything like that. You can use grocery bags, plastic grocery bags, assuming you live in a state that allows those. And what we used to do as kids, even with boots, we would put our socks on and then we would take the grocery bags, the plastic grocery bags, and put them on our feet. We would tie them up, tuck them into our pants, and then put our shoes on top of that so it would keep our feet dry if we were just wearing regular tennis shoes. This trail right here is paved, so if you have strollers, if you're in a wheelchair, you can still access a decent amount of this park. This is one of the smaller MetroParks. Hills and Dells is another really small one. That one doesn't even have a looping trail. I'm going to fall at some point. Professional photography is not allowed out here without a permit. They started that several years ago, which is really frustrating. I mean, I know the money goes to good use. We do have very beautiful MetroParks out here. It's Montgomery County, Dayton, Ohio, a little bit south of that. So, I mean, I can't be mad. They do put the money to good use. They have a lot of programs, ice skating lessons and stuff like that. And they do offer a fee base for people who can't afford it. So the money goes to good use. All right, let's walk some more. One good thing about the tripod is I can just hold it with my gloves on. When we went to Germantown MetroPark the other week, last week I think it was already, oh my goodness, I could not record much because every time I took my hands out, just the cold. Yeah, that oil change was expensive. I knew I needed to get a new engine filter and a cabin filter. The oil change itself, I do full synthetic because of how many miles are on my car. And that was $101. The wiper blades are $25 each. They only have the one option. That is something I know I could do myself. And I also know I could go like to Advanced Auto Parts and they'll do it for free as well. But I always do get the expensive wiper blades. The cabin filter, when he pulled that out, I didn't realize it was time for a new one of those, so I was surprised. But that one was like $55. I'm telling you, I'm going to learn how to do these things myself and post videos, of course. You can watch me fail the first few times until I get it right. This normally has running water through here. Not today. Let's see, what else did I get at the thing? I had them put air in my tires, so that light went off, but that was free. At least one thing was. You know, the camera's shaking. I keep sliding, even when I try to stand still. And even with boots on. I'm always sad when I see freshly made snow with marks in it. Like, I know somebody has to be the first one to do it. And on Monday, Steve and I were the first ones who messed up the snow at our complex because we went out and shoveled it. But I figured the neighbors would forgive us if we shoveled their patios as well. All right, I'm not going to venture out onto the wooded trails. We're going to just stay on the paved trails, mostly because I don't want to do anything stupid and cause extra work for anybody. The trails are pretty well marked, so that even with all the snow, I would probably be okay. I walk this park a lot just because it is small. I like to come out here and sit on those swinging benches and read. I'm surprised how much thigh muscles I'm using trying to pick up my legs high enough to walk and not trip. This right here is another popular spot for weddings. I can't remember how much this one costs. But they'll set up seating along the outside of the trees, and the couple walks down in the middle, and then they have an archway at the end for the actual ceremony. That's a far walk. All right, that's one of the ways to get onto the trails. Maybe I'll do the small one. There's also a nature play area over here at this park. I think it's the Red Trail. I'll make my way over there and we'll go down that and see how much of that tower you're allowed to go up, weather permitting. I'm bet right now it's closed. We'll head over there and see, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be closed for the season. Right there, yellow and blue trail. It's closed like I thought. That I know is for our own safety. Stairs are snow covered. Aw, somebody drew a heart in the sand or snow. Sorry, my mind's ready for summer. We'll be going to Myrtle Beach actually in August, I think. I don't remember. I'll also be having a trip coming up to Arizona. So 2 trips this summer, plus all of our regular summer activities that we do. So hopefully you'll stick around. I would love to say the videos will be perfect, but they won't. But I'm learning, and that's okay. Hopefully if you're also thinking about doing a YouTube channel, this will make you feel better. Like, hey, she did it. It's not perfect. Nobody died. Let me give it a try. All you can do is try. My goal is to learn one new thing a week. I figured out how to do voiceovers. I figured out how to add pictures into it this week, so that's good. Next, I want to learn how to do thumbnails because I'm really tired of Canva just picking whatever slide it wants to put as a thumbnail. Oh my. All right, let's go try to get to the children's play area and see what that looks like. I may have to set you guys down and play for myself. I love playgrounds. All right, I got here. I didn't even have to go onto the trail. It's actually, let me go slow. That right there, I was talking about the area where people like to get married. I just came this way. I'm directionally challenged, so I can't tell you if you head north, south, east, or west. Let's see. I'll figure it out later. Looks like the slide is closed off. That's sad. Maybe it's not. Maybe I can still go play. I will never be a city girl. I love nature way too much. I can't imagine waking up and all you see is concrete every day. Oh wait, I think I can still get on it. There's another park out here that they're also building a play area. I want to say Inglewood has one. And another one as well. Alright, there is actually more here. It is buried under snow. I think right here is the trail, the red trail. So let's go ahead and see what happens. I'm a little nervous because I don't want to accidentally step off the trail and twist an ankle. But I'm going to give it a try. I walked back over here to what will hopefully be a trail that is doable in this snow. I talked to a couple other people who are out here to take pictures. One lady asked me, she's like, "Are you getting any good shots?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I can't see my screen. I will know when I get home. I have the brightness turned up as high as I can." But it feels so good out here. Like, it really is not even cold. I mean, my cheeks are getting a little cold, but as long as you're dressed for it. I am actually starting to sweat. It is a workout trying to walk through this snow, even with the boots on. This is one of the spots I like to come read in the summertime. I will actually bring a little pillow with me, make myself comfortable, and I just sit there with my book. I don't think anything can beat fresh air. Even in this cold weather, I really should put plastic on my windows in the wintertime to stop the drafts from coming in. But even when it's cold out, I will crack my windows open occasionally just to air out the place. And I don't know, I love the smell of fresh air and the cold air. Oh, it smells so good. The me from 10 years ago would not believe I'm saying this, that I love the cold. I don't love the cold, but I love the variety in seasons. I went to Arizona a few years ago. I loved it. It was 117 degrees. I went in August last time, I think. But when I thought about it, I was like, I would be really sad to never see the leaves change color again, never get to see the snow, not to have that break from the heat and that break from the cold. And so I just choose to enjoy each season for what it is. In the summer, I do run my AC. Getting older, I cannot sleep anymore when it's like 80 degrees in the house. But I run it just as much as I need to, just to take some of the humidity out, cool it off just enough to go to sleep. Because it's summer, I don't see the point of blasting my AC down to 72 degrees if it's 90 degrees outside. And then in the winter, to turn around and blast my heat to 75, 78. So I just, it helps with the electric bill too, but I just go with the flow for the seasons. In the winter, I usually keep my place around 65 degrees. In the summer, about 78 degrees is what I'll keep it at. I will say in Ohio, we are lucky. We don't really have any extremes in temperatures. All right. It is the red trail. Oh my, I feel so vindicated. Probably a little far away for the camera to pick up. This is the part where I'm a little nervous to be on trails when I can't see. Thank goodness somebody else already walked through here because I'm following their path. But a little creek, a stream that flows through here. Now that's some ice I can trust. If you look at the Germantown MetroPark video, Steve was venturing out on ice that, one, it wasn't fully solid in my opinion. If I could still see moving water, I'm not getting on the ice. But he's brave, he did. I love reading these benches with people's dates on them, 1931 to 2021. That has to be so cool to live from one century to the next. Like, most of us will as well. I mean, especially if you were born before 2000. I plan to live to 114 years old, and I'm doing my best to be healthy for those full 114 years. I look forward to retirement.
being active. I do as much yoga and stretching as I can so I can stay flexible. I want to be able to keep moving. The other day when Steve and I were on the Germantown Metro Trail, we saw this lady. She had to be in her late 70s, and she walked 7 miles, and that was not an easy trail. I'm so impressed. I'm like, that's going to be me. I love it. I don't take getting older for granted. My mom passed away at 45, and it's a privilege. It really is a privilege to be alive, to be healthy. I love watching the changes that I go through as I get older. Love watching my kids get older. Technology, oh my God, AI. To be around at the beginning. I remember when internet first came out. I remember when it was easy. I know computers were out before I was born, but when they first became standard in the household, when libraries first got computers back from those catalogs where you flip through them to go find your books, and just to be at the forefront of AI. I love ChatGPT. I'm sorry. You're going to hear me probably talk about it a lot, especially when I do recipes and DIY videos. But yeah, if you're lucky enough to have someone older around in your life, soak up as much information as you can from them. I love being around older people. I love having older friends. I watch a lot of older YouTubers as well. I want to know what's coming my way with retirement. And even now, just enjoying life. That's why I'm out here right now in this cold weather. Actually, I do want to be at home. I'm not going to lie. I woke up this morning. I was like, I didn't feel like going out, but I had to return those library books. So I was like, I'm going to make the best of it and do something I enjoy, which is go on a walk.